conversation as nothing more than a social exchange between acquaintances. Habit died hard, especially since, until recently, such practices have been vital to staying alive. Tristan smiled vaguely, indeed through a gentleman who glanced their way. The man decided against intruding. I saw Deverell at the table. He was seated not far from me. He mentioned that Warnfleet and St. Austell were here too. You can add Tregarth and Blake. I saw them as I was arriving. Christian broke off. Ah, I see. DL has only allowed those of us who have sold out to appear. Tristan caught his eye. The smile that was never far from his mobile lips deepened. Can you imagine DL allowing even Prinny to identify his most secret of secret operatives? Christian hid a smile, raised his glass to his lips, and sipped. DL, he went by no other name or honorific, was the Foreign Office taskmaster, who from his office, buried in the depths of Whitehall, managed His British Majesty's Foreign Spy Network, a network that had been instrumental in handing victory to England and her allies, both in the Peninsular Campaign and more recently at Waterloo. Together with a certain Lord Whiteley, his opposite number in the Home Office, DL was responsible for all covert operations both within England and beyond its borders. I didn't realise Tregarth or Blake were in the same boat as we two, and I know of the others only by repute. Christian glanced at Tristan. Are you sure the others are leaving? I know Warnfleet and Blake are, for much the same reasons as we. As for the others, it's purely conjecture. But I can't see DL compromising an operative of St. Austell's calibre, or Tregarth's or Deverell's for that matter, just to pander to Prinny's latest whim. True. Christian again looked out over the sea of heads. Both he and Tristan were tall, broad-shouldered and lean, with the honed strength of men used to action, a strength imperfectly concealed by the elegant cut of their evening clothes. Beneath those clothes, both bore the scars of years of active service. Although their nails were perfectly manicured, it would be some months yet before the telltale signs of their unusual, often ungentlemanly erstwhile occupation faded from their hands, the calluses, the roughness, the leather-like palms. They and their 5 colleagues known to be present had all served DL and their country for at least a decade, Christian for nearly 15 years. They'd served in whatever guise had been required, from nobleman to street sweeper, from clerk to navvy. There had for them been only one measure of success, discovering the information they'd been sent behind enemy lines to acquire, and surviving long enough to get it back to DL. Christian sighed, drained his glass. I'm going to miss it. Tristan's laugh was short. Aren't we all? Be that as it may, given that we're no longer on His Majesty's payroll, Christian set his empty glass down on a nearby sideboard, I fail to see why we need stand here talking when we could be much more comfortable doing the same elsewhere. His grey gaze met the eyes of a gentleman clearly considering approaching. The gentleman considered again and turned away. And without running the risk of having to do the pretty for whichever toady captures us and demands to hear our story. Glancing at Tristan, Christian raised a brow. What say you? Shall we adjourn to pleasanter surrounds? By all means. Tristan handed his empty glass to a passing footman. Do you have any particular venue in mind? I've always been partial to the Ship and Anchor. It has a very cosy snug. Tristan